don't know why, I just had this craving for chocolate, and I was like, fucking Adrian left those Tim Tams, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did.
I came in and I looked and I like couldn't see them. And then, did you tuck them at the back or something?
They're in the fridge.
I know, but I looked in there, I couldn't see them.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, right. Because then I come and put the ice in there.
Yeah,
before.
I hid them from you in the back.
I came and put the ice in there before, and they were just in plain sight. And I'm like, surely.
No, that. What do you mean? You tried to see them and you couldn't see them? Were you tired?
Probably. Westy did reorganise the fridge again, so maybe
he's like, ooh, Tim Tams.
There's probably nothing in there now.
He's like, I found the stash.
Fuck yeah. We might as well kick off, hey, straight away.
Oh, banana.
I started with my solo. Look at that. Double coaster. Yeah. I had a big surprise for you before.
I honestly didn't see it. I was looking for a charger. I don't know why you like ruined your own surprise.
No, it's not really a surprise anyway.
Yeah, it was. What is this?
So
it's not my birthday.
No. Let's put him there.
Okay.
No, so
him? Shim.
It's a Ken doll.
That's
from the franchise Barbie. What? It doesn't look like it doesn't look like I remember Ken being, hey.
Right.
But anyway, I just want to say thank you for not only infiltrating magic into my kid's life, but because of you. Because of you.
As if.
Yeah.
As if it's because of me.
So the kids, where did I go?
Start with magic.
I went to the shops or something this afternoon.
You got to start with magic.
What do you mean start with magic?
You said, who else knows what the hell?
Well, if they've been listening for a while, they know that you've
I didn't buy them the magic set.
No, Ash did that. But you showed them their first magic set.
Okay.
Anyway, so I come home from the shops and the kids are all excited and they're like, can we give you one of your Father's Day presents tonight? And I was like, oh, I guess. And Nikita's like, they want to give it to you so you can show it off on the podcast.
That's so good.
And I'm like, oh, what could it be? And then I opened it and I was like, the fuck? Like, I was like, what? And I didn't get it at first. And Nikita's like, they think you like Barbie because of the sticker on the back of your ute.
That's so funny.
So
they do.
So they went and bought me a Ken doll, which Nikita told me was $40.
Bullshit.
Yeah. I wish she didn't tell me that. So now I have this.
You can't return it. This has to go on the wall.
Yeah. Well,
Bill.
I don't know whether to. Yeah, Bill's got a homie.
All right. So what is this? Okay. Did you hear? Wait, hang on. Rewind for 2 seconds.
Okay, go.
You know those things where like try and make each other laugh by telling a joke?
Yeah.
Fuck, I wish I could remember it now. It was about Barbie and Ken and why
I think I might have heard it.
they couldn't have kids or something.
Maybe. Because you got 2 girls, were they ever into Barbie?
No.
No, really?
No. We have like birthday parties or whatever, obviously, and for some reason that's like a go-to gift for girls, and they don't really like them.
Yep.
I guess I don't know if I should admit it, but we just re-gift them all.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
because Nikita's friend, her daughter's got a party next week, and Nikita was just like,
Ken doll.
No, she was just in heaven, like going down all the girls' aisles.
Oh, really?
And shit. Yeah.
Oh, right, because
obviously she's just getting dinosaurs and fucking trucks and shit.
I missed the first part. Your kids got invited to a girl's birthday party?
Yeah, so Nikita's friend's daughter's having a party,
Right.
she had to go and buy some fucking, I don't know, some twirly princess looking thing.
Why would they not pose him in a better surfing stance than this?
You have to watch the movie, then you'll get it.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
No way.
And that is a pretty funny part of the movie because
normally you do love Barbie.
Yeah. So Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds? No, Ryan Gosling.
Seen it.
It's Gosling.
If it was Ryan Reynolds, I think I would know.
It would have been better if it was Ryan Reynolds.
Probably.
Yeah, so you'd think he'd be like Surf Ken or like something like
Surf Ken? I hate that.
Or Lifeguard Ken.
Yeah, okay.
Because he hangs out on the beach, but he's like
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Beach. And they're like, oh, can you rescue anyone? He's like, no, I'm just Beach. And he's like, all he does is just
Oh, he's on the beach. He's
sunbake and shit.
Why not Holiday Ken?
Yeah.
Why Beach Ken?
But yeah, thanks for that.
He has so many. It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
He's got a bum bag, a freaking one of those visors that doesn't, like it's not a cap.
Did you ever wear one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
So
see you doing
dumb.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Did you ever...
What was that? What was that brand where it was like fingers, peace sign? Palmer's? Is that a brand?
Palmer's sounds familiar, actually. I think the only visor I had was a bright yellow one, and I think it was Dada.
Is that like a hip hop brand?
Yeah, remember that? And you used to get like the Dada hoodies and shit.
No, I remember I had.
Here we go.
It was like the baggiest fucking shiny jeans that you could get.
I remember them. I never had a pair of them, but yeah, I do remember them.
And that's just terrible.
Yeah, 100%.
And they have like that big stitching in them, like with whatever the brand is or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like big fat stitching.
Yeah, there used to be some fucked up fashion. You're obsessed with that, aren't you?
I can't believe it's worth $40.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it would cost just cents.
It's
to
literally
freaking
it's
cast
literally
this
just the
plastic
brand
thing.
that you're paying for. Because you could go to the cheap shop and get the exact same doll for $12.
And the packaging isn't even like pristine. Or did this come in another box?
No, that's how it came.
Like look at it. It doesn't even like line up or anything.
That is pretty shit.
Huh? Like
Let's take down Barbie.
Mattel. Lift your game.
Fucking hell.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh,
boy.
While we're on, ties in perfectly. So last Sunday, we went down the coast for the day, just because fucking shit's been hectic and
The
stuff.
coast for you is what? What is it?
We literally just went to surfers.
Okay.
Because the main reason we went, Westy wanted to go to the big time zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we went down there for the day.
Is there a time zone in the city or is that the only time zone?
There used to be one in the city. I don't know if it's still there.
Oh.
I don't really go looking for time zones anymore.
Really? I think
They are fun.
I think it's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
You
fun.
had fun, didn't you? You
Yeah,
played more
100%.
games than anyone. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went down there. We did a heap of shit, but the embarrassing moment. Well, there was
you
a
put
few.
on your story?
There was a few embarrassing. The what?
Okay. Is it the one you put on your story?
Oh no, we can talk about that. So to finish the day, before we left, we were like, "Oh, do you want to take your togs and shit in case you want to go to the beach?" And they're like, "Nah." And of course, end of the day before we leave, they're like, "Oh, we want to go to the
Good
beach."
job you're in surfers.
Yeah. So we took them down on the sand and they're running in and out of the water. But Nikita we got lunch to eat just above the sand and Nikita was taking ages. So she's like, "Oh, you take the boys down and I'll meet you down there." So I'm like, "Oh, sweet." I had my Crocs on. Now I forgot that about a week ago, it was a Friday night and I was fucked after work and I was just kicking back on the couch and Parker was just hassling me and he wouldn't leave me alone. Somehow he found Nikita's nail polish and all he wanted to do was paint my toenails. And I was like, if it's going to keep you quiet for 5 minutes, go nuts. So my whole feet were like red because he couldn't find my toenails. And then
I'm out here looking like Ronald McDonald.
yeah, basically. So that is what it is. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care.
And then
That's called girl dad life.
yeah, except I got boys. I think they haven't chosen yet.
Okay.
So I completely forgot. I kicked my Crocs off at the beach and I've just got fucking... By now, all the red's gone off my skin, so it is just my nails painted red. So I've got these beautifully manicured toenails and I'm just strutting through the sand.
That's so good.
I was so embarrassed. I was
Do
like
you think
curling them
people
into the sand.
Burn off.
Yeah.
This boiling hot sand. Was the sand hot?
No,
the worst part of the
it
beach,
was
I think.
a mint day, like for the beach. The water was pretty cold. I don't know how the boys were fucking around in it.
No,
But
kids are weird, hey?
yeah, I know. I don't get it. Throw them in an ice.
Mind you, I think about, like when I was younger, I used to be able to, like the cold didn't bother me. I'd swim whenever.
Well, I used to be the same. I used to almost like brag about how much I could embrace the cold.
Yeah.
Because like all the kids at school would start wearing their jumpers and shit, and I still wouldn't wear it for like a month or so, and I'd just I'd love it.
I used to never wear a jumper.
Yeah, and these days, I don't know if it's just because of like my skin's getting old or something. I get cold as fuck all the time.
Poor circulation. I don't know.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know.
Another word for you're a fat cunt.
No, I think because I think that I was always a fat kid, and so I think that's why I didn't really feel the cold as much.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've only the last 2 years, I reckon, I've noticed it's cold as fuck.
It's getting old. Or just like, why? Who am I showing off for?
Yeah, well, it is a bit of that. Yeah. Wait, talking about getting old. I was so obviously a lot of the people I do stand up with are in their 20s, I guess you could say, anywhere from early 20s to late 20s. And because I talk to them and shit at gigs.
Do I speak in language you don't understand?
No, I get, that's the thing. Like, a lot of them are pretty mature for their age,
Right.
and like we have normal conversations and shit. But because of that, it makes me feel slightly younger, I guess, in my head.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So I had a gig last night over at Banyo, and as soon as I got there, it was just like older couples, but like they probably would have been, I don't know, ranging from 35 to like 55.
Do you mean just older than you're used to seeing it?
I guess so, yeah. Like when you're in the heart of the city or heart of the Gold Coast, it's mainly young people. You'll get a scattering of older people and shit like that, which is cool. But I got up and I did like decent, but it wasn't like the jokes weren't hitting like when it's a young crowd that's
Right,
into the
yeah,
immature
yeah.
dick jokes.
Yeah.
So I got off stage and I was like, they're like, how'd you go? And I was like, oh yeah, good. But
These old fucks.
yeah, I'm like, oh, they're just like a bunch of 40-year-old couples and shit in there. And then after I said it, I'm like, fuck, I'm like almost 32 now. Like, it's almost me. I'm like, they should be my crowd. But yeah.
I think anyone could be your crowd.
Yeah, well, someone told me that when I was like 6 months in, because you hear it after every gig. Everyone's just like, oh, it's a fucking shit crowd. But, fuck, who was it? Hayden Foote, he told me after a gig, he's like, oh, don't buy into this whole fucking it's a shit crowd thing. He's like, you should like have the skill to be able to get in front of anyone and like make them laugh. Yeah. He's like, there's going to be shit gigs. Like, don't get me wrong. He's like, well, just don't get in that mindset. And that
It makes sense to me though.
it's another thing that like sort of stuck in the back of my head.
But I think that must also come down to like, if you don't have that breadth of material, then you won't be able to like, oh, this is not going to work here. I can't.
Well, that was, at the start where I was, because I've peeled way back from how hectic I was at the start. And I'd just be sitting there watching people bomb on like fucking, not even any like hectic shit. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there going, I have to say this shit because I've got nothing else. It was the worst feeling. Bad? Oh, it was the worst feeling. The Thursday night, I had another fucked. So the thing is...
You said you had a few gigs.
Yeah, so I don't know how I jagged it, but I had 3 gigs for sit-down comedy in 1 week, which is pretty fucking cool. I was going to
say, you didn't understand my message, but I said, did you go from green or yellow?
I looked at the lineup last night and it was all black.
Oh.
And I was like, where's the fucking colour code shit?
Oh, my. It's not freaking World Cup stuff.
What do you mean?
Like,
I get you now because you just sent me a fucking yellow square and a green
square.
Still
didn't.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay, I guess we'll sort this out tomorrow.
All black.
No, so
it's a New Zealand crowd.
Yeah, maybe. Thursday night, I had a gig at Kickstart Comedy. That's not sit down. It's a different fucking promotion, whatever you want to call it. And we got there and it was a decent crowd, maybe like 20 people, which is pretty good for that venue. It's a pretty small venue. And I was third last on the lineup. And so everyone was going through and everyone was just like, I don't know, the crowd was looking tired or just, they weren't 100% into it for whatever reason. Anyway, I've got the video because I recorded my set as a video this time because normally at this venue, it's the first venue that I like ever crushed in pretty much. And the room runners like me for whatever reason, blah, blah, blah. So I always record my set there because it's normally good. So I've set my phone up and the last guys said, all right, thank you very much. And then just as he's jumped off the stage and the MC's jumped up, she's turned around, and just as she's turned around, 16 of the 20 people got up and left. And she's like, well, I've got a big treat for you guys now. Can you put your hands together for James Wilson?
Oh, no.
And I've had to push my way through these
All these people that are trying to leave.
Yeah. And I just got up and I was like, oh, it's always a good way to start your set when 80% of the audience leaves. And then luckily the 4 people that stayed were just fucking into it.
Yeah.
And like, I somewhat feel like they
felt bad.
Yeah.
Yes,
a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Why?
yeah.
Like, I wonder why they left. Like you said, you said they're probably tired or something.
There was a bit of that. There was just one cockhead there. I messaged the boys that I'm in the group chat with, and I was just like, there's this one fuckhead here, and if he does this while I'm on stage, I'm going to call the cunt out. And someone would say a joke, and he'd just like, he'd look up at this roof, and he'd just shake his head, or he'd like roll his eyes, and he was just a little arrogant.
But be audible or like just...
A little bit. To his table, it was noticeable. It was like, oh, these cunts think they're fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like,
You should get up here.
he didn't laugh once while he was there. He was a fuckhead.
Why did you even turn up?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think because his girlfriend was there and she was loving the whole night.
Yeah.
Like she was laughing at everything.
Oh, that's why.
Probably.
She thinks
That was
not
probably
funny.
it. Yeah. And I was just like, you're a fuckhead. And then he was one of the ones that left.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, good.
That was probably the biggest table there. There was like 10 on that table. So.
Jocko. Good.
yeah. But it was it was good because I was saying this to the boys yesterday as well. I think I've hit that stage where that shit would have fucked me at the start. But now it's just like, I'll do my set to these 4 as if I would normally.
Cool.
And they loved it and shit. And then when I got off, the room runner was like, it's crazy to see you now from like the little shy fuckhead that was here. Like, she didn't say that. She's
Bullshit.
super nice. She's just like, oh, the shy little boy that was here like a year and a half ago, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, to what you just did up there now. And I'm like, yeah, fucking, it felt sick even though it was to 4 people.
That's cool. So it still went well?
It went well. So the
last night?
It went well enough. The fucking, so that dog bit that I do, I'm thinking about putting a joke up on my socials, and I think that's going to be the one.
Really?
Maybe.
You said sometimes you open with that, though.
I've been closing with it lately. And last night was to this older crowd. They weren't buying into all my shit, but when I started that, I don't know if they were old, so they invested in the story. Because it's got like a minute lead up of just, you've got to listen to me. And then they just like lost, like they were slapping knees and shit. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
I don't know. Maybe crack the formula. Older people need more story.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'd love to fucking...
But that kind of makes sense. I would say, like, if you push to an older generation, they have a longer attention span.
Yeah, that does. It 100% makes sense. Because the younger generation, we've spoken about it before, they just want fucking 20-second TikToks. Like,
give me Jimmy Carr comedy.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I don't have anywhere near the amount of material to even try it yet. But just like half an hour on stage of just talking and seeing like how much shit, because that's the other tricky part. You don't want to branch out too much, and you're 15 minutes into a story without a laugh.
But here's the thing. Well, you got to put some punches in, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I reckon you could. Are there people out there that will do their whole 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is, just like on one elaborate story?
Yeah. So some of the bigger guys like Damien Power and shit. I don't know if you know who he is. You don't know who fucking any comedians are in Australia, but he's probably one of the biggest in Brisbane. And he'll still pop into open mic rooms and shit. And his 5 minutes will just be like a story, I guess. Cool. Or if it's not a story that he's getting ready for stage, it'll be basically 5 premises, I guess. And he'll see if any of them work. So yeah, I guess in that sense, but it's very rare you see an open micer get up and fill the 5 with one story. Because that was my mistake at the start. I think I said it as well. Like, you watch someone special and I was like, oh, you just got to have like 5 minutes. That's easy. It's one story.
So what's the next, I guess, step? Like, so you say, like you call it open micers and then comedians. Is it like an intermediate step?
I guess there would be. I guess I don't know. It's probably, if not where I'm sitting now, the next little level up.
Like getting some paid stuff.
Getting like a paid gig a month, I guess, and then working your way up from there.
And then special time.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
How do you think you'd go with that?
With a special?
Obviously not now, but like I think you would.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my 5-minute special.
Imagine that 5-minute specials. Yeah. Just like as the person you are, you'd like want everything like fucking micromanaged down to like
that's
the
my thing.
T.
Eh? That's What do you mean? How do I think I'd go with it? I feel like I'd have to have like people there that I knew. Yeah, they knew what they were doing, sort of thing.
But like, I mean, because like obviously like all the big comedians they record over a couple of nights or a couple of shows. Yeah. Like if it started to go bad, you'd be like, oh god, crash and burn. Yeah, it is what it is. I guess the pressure then with a special is you've invested all that money. Yeah. Like that would be the fuck part. Yeah. No, it's like I said, I'd love to try and fill some time, but because that's the other tricky part. Like I'll sit down because obviously I've got stories for days. Are you still writing new stuff?
At the moment, not so much. At the moment I'm just basically fucking around. Like I said last week, listening back to old sets and adding pauses or flipping shit. And that's like making these jokes so much better. So I'm not necessarily writing new gear, but I'm making this shit better, which I think is making me more confident on stage as well. So when I do get the new shit, I'll be more confident in saying it, I'm hoping.
Yeah, because I think a while ago you were saying like you were thinking about going and listening back to like original or looking over your original jokes and seeing if you could make them work again. Or
yeah, so I did do that. So I think the 5 minutes I did last night was 3 jokes that I rewrote and then the dog bit.
Okay.
So I don't even know if... no, you probably would have heard him at the last distillery show. Maybe. I don't fucking know.
I think the last show you did the same jokes as the first show, I think.
Maybe. No, I mixed one up. Remember I was freaking out before? Because I was like, I changed my set on the drive here.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter.
Whatever, eh? So what did you get up to today? Fucking boring stuff?
Did you see my story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Just that all day?
Basically. So I woke up this morning and I was like, our yards have needed work for so long. And it's been a while since I've put in like a good day of just doing everything that needs to be done. And because I said that, somehow it came into Nikita's head. She's like,
oh, I can give him stuff to do.
Yeah, well, no, because I was like, I'll trim the hedges out the front. And I guess none of you have seen my house, but
hopefully.
I got about a 3 metre span of these hedges that we've been growing for about 7 to 8 years, I guess.
And we've been growing as in, don't hedges, you just put them in and they grow?
No, so when we bought this place, we were fucking young, poor cunts. So we went and looked at big hedges and we're like, fuck, we're not paying $200 a hedge to have a fully grown hedge.
Over 3 meters.
Yeah. So we went and bought, they were probably this big when we got them, like 30 centimeters maybe. Yeah. So we just planted 5 of those. And like over the last 8 years, they grew, I don't know.
Hedges.
Yeah. I probably trim them once every 3 months or so in height. And they're probably 7 feet tall now, I guess. And I just like pruned them into fucking squares or whatever you want to call them.
You make so.
Yeah. Anyway, they turned into these hectic hedges that were like, I thought were pretty cool. They like put privacy in front. And then Nikita's like, oh, I want them gone, which she's mentioned before. And I was like, she wants just more light into the lounge room.
So just carve some holes in your hedges. Make one of those freaking circular fucking... Oh, they're gone now, don't matter.
Yeah, they're not coming back. They're
I
way
could
cool.
plant some more hedges.
Yeah, no.
Regrow. Oh, there you could replant baby hedges.
No.
And then you have light and hedges.
She's putting native flowers and
Native
shit
what?
there. I don't know.
Um,
We'll get her on and you can talk native flowers with her.
Did you sell your hedges for $200?
We should have. Why didn't we have this conversation before?
You just ripped them out of the
I
ground?
just got a chainsaw to them and just.
Oh no! You
fucking
should have dug
destroy
them out and like tried to sell them.
Fuck. Should have. I'm going to go break into the Beanley tip tonight.
Yeah, well, no, they're dead now.
Yeah, but.
he would glue them together. We have arts and crafts. Wait, someone make me a wire mesh.
No, fuck that.
Here's my $400 hedge because I made it myself.
Yeah, they're gone. They're fucking long gone.
Yeah, right.
Other than that, I don't know if I've said. I feel like I've said this before as well, but my dad keeps getting this wood from somewhere, and it's. I don't know where he's getting.
What do you mean?
So it's fallen. So it's fallen down power poles.
You haven't said.
Haven't I?
Cool. No.
Yeah, so it is cool. Like I've got a mountain of wood out there at the moment.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
If you want some, you can have some. We gave some to my brother-in-law the other week. But they've still got like fucking
Wait, is it illegal to have these fallen down power poles?
No.
Holy shit. He's going around. Wait, hang on. Let me just axe half of this power pole. It might fall down.
Nah, so he what's the word? Like traffic controller. So he gets called to all these emergency things. And I would like to think he doesn't get called to an emergency and he's just like, hang on, I'm going to fucking chop this up and put it in my ute.
Let me just clear the road.
Yeah. But yeah, he brings it around, he chainsaws it up into little blocks for me and shit. And it's still got like the big bolts and like all this cool shit in it.
Blocks? He cuts them into blocks for you.
Yeah, with his chainsaw. So
But why?
He takes these long lengths of timber.
Does he not want them as long lengths? Oh, you're too hard to move.
Well, just our little fire pit. So he'll basically bring these big fucking things home. Then he'll get his chainsaw out. He'll cut them into like fire pit size shit. And then he'll bring them around and drop them off. And then I'll just burn them. Like I started a fire today just
Are
to
they
like.
treated? You should maybe not breathe it in if they are.
I don't know. Would they be?
It's a power pole outside. I don't know.
It's good solid hardwood.
I can't believe you're just
I'll show you
burning it.
some.
I can't believe you're just burning it.
What do you mean?
Psycho.
No, it's good.
I want to know if it's illegal to have it first.
What firewood?
What fire poles?
What fire pole? Yeah.
We were camping one time. Allegedly.
Yeah.
With someone high up that we work with now.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's probably only one person.
Yeah.
And had no more fire. Well, we ran out of firewood. We started to just like dig around for some firewood. And I don't know who it was, but someone dragged over a big log from somewhere. And I was like, what is this? And you know like how you see those logs at parks? It's like the upright and a big crossbeam.
Yeah, yeah.
Those green ones. It was one of them. And we've learned that you shouldn't burn them because the fire burns green and probably lets off toxic stuff.
Fuck. You can't burn treated timber, can you?
I don't think you should. I think it lets off fumes and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I thought. Because our old garden bed where the hedges were was boxed in with big sleepers. And I started to cut them up because I was just going to throw them on to burn them. And then I remembered, I'm like, pretty sure these release like some sort of toxin.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think you're meant to. Again, we know nothing about anything.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just don't do it.
But yeah, it doesn't smell or anything when
But
I
how
burn
can you
it.
do that and they sell in the camping shops that shit that you throw on the fire and it makes a little rainbow?
Yeah, that's crazy, eh? Do you use that shit?
Done it once. Actually, we didn't do it when we went camping. Like the people in like another campsite over, they're like, here, have one of these for the kids.
Yeah.
And the kids threw it in. We did it and it was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, it must be safe.
Well, our boys do it all the time. And I read the back of it one day and it says shit like, don't roast marshmallows.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it says don't roast marshmallows on it because it sends the flame, like puts some poison in it or some shit. And And it says like don't get on skin and all this sort of shit. And I was like, oh fuck, maybe this shit isn't good.
I don't know.
Because it says you're not even meant to open the packet.
You just throw the whole packet.
You
open the packet?
No. First time I did.
Yeah, there he does.
First time I did, and when I ripped it, I like started to sprinkle it, and as I was sprinkling it, I could see on the back of the packet it says "Do not open packet." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Basically, just dropped it. Kids were like, "Why is it not working?" I'm like,
People give me shit for reading the instructions of everything.
Yeah, I don't read the instructions for much.
For much. What's something you would read the instructions for?
I don't know. My parents just bought this big carport thing. So basically, because I'm going to be building a couple of jobs under their house again for sponsored Missing Interiors, any cabinetry in Southeast Queensland, hit us up. So they've got granddad's old car in there after he died. Yeah. It's just living under their house. So they went and bought this big carport so that we can park that there and I can have a bit more storage. Anyway, Mum and Dad built this thing last weekend. I couldn't help because I was working.
Of course.
Yeah. But Sunday Arvo or something, they're like, oh, come and help us put the cover on it. So we've dragged this big fucking giant, like 5 metre by 5 metre tarp over this thing. And we've got it on and we couldn't work it out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hey?
They built it upside down.
No, well, I'm like, they're renowned for skipping steps and things like that. So I was like, what the fuck are they done? And I'm trying to work it out. And I'm like, oh, this has to go through here. And it just turned into a big thing. And Mum's like, fucking, we'll pull it off and I'll email the supplier and shit like that. Anyway, all week she's gone back and forth with them. And they're like, basically, you cunts are stupid. You've got the right shit. Yeah. Fucking sort it out. Yeah. And I was like, nah, no fucking way. I looked at it and I'm like, this is how it goes. Anyway, we get a message from Mum today. And she's like, oh, the lady across the road came and helped us with this. She's like, we just had it on, instead of long ways, we had it on sideways.
Tarp?
Yeah. So we just had to spin the tarp and everything would have been sweet. So I should have read the instructions.
It's a tarp for it.
Yeah, so it's
some random tarp you put.
No, so it's just a job. Yeah, it's part of the carport.
Okay.
Yeah. So I should have read the instructions.
You don't need to read the instructions to know. It's like you put your fucking blanket over your bed and like, oh, why do my feet hang out at the end? Maybe we have the wrong blanket or bed.
Do your feet, are we about the same height?
No, you're taller than me, I think.
Okay. Do your feet ever hang out the end?
No.
No?
No.
I went through a phase where I swear, like, no matter how hard I tried.
Does that creep you out?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I realised what it was is Nikita puts a fuckload of like, hey,
you had the blanket the wrong way.
No, Nikita puts a fuckload of pillows and cushions and shit there, and I'm just too lazy to move them. So when I put my head down, I'm already like 3/4 of the way down the bed. Yeah, okay. So
it's too lazy to move them.
Yeah, it's probably really bad for my neck.
You sleep on them. It's like my back's all twisted, and I complain my back's fucked.
You mentioned before my little story thing that I put up from last weekend at the coast.
Oh, yeah,
big pin art thing.
Ripley's.
That was so fucked. Have you ever been there?
Not a long time ago, so not since I've had any new shit. Like interactive shit, there was not. It was only just like exhibit, like look at this weird dude that's so tall.
Yeah, so it's A, pretty freaky for kids.
Yeah.
And B,
there's like shrunken heads and shit.
That freaked me the fuck out. Yeah, and it's expensive as fuck.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was $80 for 3 of us. Because Parker got him. No, for all of us. Which I thought, like, you could.
I think it depends. For young kids, it's tough. $80 is a lot. If you're like going to go through and read every single friggin' plaque on the wall.
Well, yeah, that's it. Which we didn't. Yeah. Like, we just had young kids that wanted to fucking.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. And you speed through it and you're like, oh, shit.
But, so that, because she's like, we walked up, she gave us a spiel, and at that stage, I wasn't 100% sold. And she's like, oh.
Have you not been before?
No, never been.
Oh, really? Did you see? There's some weird shit.
Yeah.
Hey?
So she's like, 2 adults and the 1 kid, he gets in for free. And she's like, that'll be $80. Puts it straight in, puts it out like this. And at that stage, I was like,
I can't say no.
I was like, I was ready to say, no, we're all good. And as I turn, like Nikita and the boys are already starting to walk in. And I'm like, sick. Fuck yeah. But yeah, we go in.
There must be a cheaper fucking online something.
There probably would have been, but it was a bit of a spur of the moment until we waited.
They got you. That's how they get you. They know.
Waiting for time zone to open. So they're like,
you got there so early. What time is time zone open?
10 o'clock.
I guess so.
So we got there about 9:30. So we had half an hour to kill.
Okay.
So we went there, and then Parker's fucking scared of everything.
Yeah. Well.
So he didn't want to go near anything.
Solid. It's like being in a wax museum half of it.
100%. Westy surprised me. He was fucking around with all the shit. And he was like looking at the weird shrunken heads and stuff. And I'm like, oh, fucking creepy. Going through all these weird mazes and shit.
Mazes? So there was not, I can't remember any of that.
Oh, really?
No. The only thing I do like always remember is like out the front they have that stupid. It's like a gimmicky trick where it's like a tap that is flowing but is not.
Oh, really?
Well, they don't have
I
that
didn't
anymore.
see that.
It's like out the front to try and attract you.
The thing that fucked me the most, I don't know if it was there when you went back in the day. Did they have the big tunnel that spun?
Yeah, at the end. It was
about halfway through on this one. I didn't realise how much that fucks with your head. Because
this thing. It's like a floating tap.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
It's like what I remember at Ripley's. It's always out the front. It's like this type of thing.
Okay. And what, do you put your hand through it or some shit?
Well, you can't because that's how the gimmick works. It's like a pipe that comes up and the water just flows over the pipe.
Isn't that obvious?
I don't think it's meant to be a magic trick to fool you. It's just
right.
like a, isn't this
weird?
Okay,
all right, good. Anyway, this big fucking...
You can go touch it. Yeah. How can people not figure this out? Idiots.
This big tunnel thing. Westy started to run through and he's got about halfway and he's like...
Did you feel sick?
He's freaked out because he's realised we haven't followed. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll come. And I've gone and stood in halfway. And I didn't realise if you stare at the lights, because it's basically a big tunnel where you walk across a bridge. There's all these glowing lights and shit and the tunnel
outside spins.
Yeah.
But the bridge doesn't move,
Bridge doesn't move.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've stood in the centre of this tunnel for probably 5 seconds or so. And at that point... I've almost gone like blind. I couldn't see fucking shit.
Really?
Yeah, the whole thing. Like,
why? Because it was bright.
I think it just made me so. I think it made me so dizzy that I just because then I'm trying to get off the bridge and I'm like I'm almost rolling off the bridge. And I'm like grabbing Westy. I got off the end of the bridge and I was like trying to get my bearings and I looked back and Nikita could see what it just did to me. And she still had to come across, and it's the only way you can get through.
Yeah. She army crawl?
She had Parker and he didn't want to do it either. She closed her eyes and walked through.
That's probably safe.
Yeah, 100%. She said it still made her feel sick though.
How?
I don't know.
Your eyes are closed.
That's what I thought. But from that moment on, everyone was just done. We all felt sick. We were fucking like...
I can see, like, I think it would give you... I think the idea is to give you motion sickness. I don't know.
It probably would. Because then from there, you went to... the other freaky shit, which, again, would be cool if you weren't there with kids that are scared of everything. But, like, two-headed sheep and fucking one-eyed cows and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I can't remember if they have... Did they have, like, the cow where it's, like, had the porthole in the side and you can, like, see into its, like, stomach and stuff?
No, I didn't see that either.
Okay. That's a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah, they do it. I think so they can like take samples of like rumen from the cow's guts. It's just like a porthole, like a hot.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty weird. Cow porthole, solid Google search. There you go. How can that shit not get infected? How does that get past friggin' animals? What's he?
I don't know. It used to fuck with my head. It would almost... It would...
You grew up... What kind of farm did you grow up on?
Cattle farm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At one stage, my family had the biggest feedlot in... I don't know if it was Queensland, like just Queensland, or maybe Australia at some point. But every time I went out there, every time a cow would have a giant cyst on it, and they'd have to like... basically...
From what? Like what is it? You don't know.
I think they must just grow or something because it was super common. So my cousin would just get his pocket knife and just like
gross.
cut this thing, and this thing would just start fucking squirting. I can't find.
Did the cow even care?
No, it didn't give a fuck. It was like it never even happened.
It shows how like tough animals are and how
100%
bitch we are.
But yeah, it would just be standing out in the paddock and just pus would be fucking flying out. I'm like, that's so rank.
Gross.
Then
Dodge this.
Yeah. And then my cousins would fuck with me and just like start slapping it on me and shit. So fucked.
Wait, so you only visited there? Or like, did you say you grew up?
Well, I used to get shipped there every school holidays.
Yeah.
So I didn't get tainted by these city kids up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we spent we moved around a fair bit, but we lived in Gundawindi predominantly, I think, until I was in grade 2.
Okay.
Like I said last
That's
week
still
with the
super
whole
young.
maths thing, yeah. And then we moved up here, and then every school holidays I'd go back down.
Get some country in you.
Pretty much, yeah. It was like I was 2 different people. I was like Hannah Montana. It used to fuck with me so much.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
I
I think it's why I 100% think that's why like I have so much like social anxiety and shit like that.
Why?
Because I would be a city kid up here. I'd dress in cool like Billabong, Quicksilver shit, like the city shit.
Yeah.
And I'd have a flat brim cap. I'd get off the bus down there.
Quick change.
My cousin would be like, what the fuck's that shit? Rip the hat off my head and just fucking like break my brim and shit like that. And then I'd have to go straight out there, get in my like country clothes.
Did you pack country clothes?
I had like clothes down there.
Okay.
So then for 2 weeks, like in the school holidays, I'd turn full country kid and shit like that.
But wait.
And then I'd come back up here and I'd go to a party in like jeans and a fucking button-up shirt, and cunts would be like, who the fuck are you? I'd be like, oh my God.
Like,
That's right, I'm City James now.
I have two personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Would you think you would have rather not do that now?
I feel like I
Obviously, like,
know myself well enough now to dress however the fuck I want, wherever I am.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it was
You don't think if you go out into the country, you'll not start wearing country clothes?
I would wear, I don't know. I would wear clothes that I'm comfortable in. Like I probably wouldn't go full country anymore.
I feel like you're so like you can be influenced by like cool stuff that's around you, and out there that stuff is cool.
That's
so,
it. Yeah, I'd be out there for a week and I'd be like,
yeah.
Where's my boots at? Because when Westy was born, all his maternity photos and shit like that, I was in full country get up with a cowboy hat and shit like that.
Just because you wanted to?
Basically, yeah. And then, even now I look at that and I'm just like, fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not terrible, but it's just like anyone that didn't know me back then was just like, you live in fucking Logan.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I get it.
calm down, cowboy.
Whenever we go camping, I have an Akubra that I wear. Like,
Do ya?
Just because.
What kind? What'd you get?
What do you mean? It's just
Well, there's like 80 different Akubras.
just a fucking Akubra. I don't know. The standard Akubra.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, it's like all dirty and stuff, and I don't have
What colour?
like the creamy light, like a lighter color.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Maybe we got the same one.
Oh,
Oh.
no,
Should we wear Akubras next episode?
mine's got character.
Mine's brand new.
Is it? When I went to the
More or
store, that we got it from like a proper hat store or whatever. I can't remember why I wanted it. I think I was just like kept getting burnt and shit. Like, no, I want a good hat that will like if we're camping, that it's not going to fuck me up. And they're like, yeah. I was like, so how do I clean it? It's like you got 2 options. People will either clean them and keep them pristine, or they like just let them
Destroy them.
get used. And it's like I'm gonna let it get used because I'll be so sad if I like try and keep it all perfect and then
100%.
dirty. And yeah, it's just got all red dirt on it and shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you want, I reckon. I think you have to like let them get like that.
Yeah.
Because again, my cousins and shit, like their brims would just be like,
Yeah.
there'd be a fucking like hole between the top part and the brim, and it'd just be like sagging in their face.
It's a peekaboo hole.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Fuck yeah. Oh. Nikita's giving me a fucking AIDS.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
Keep that to yourself.
No, you want it. No. Have you seen this shit? So, I don't know if you know about this movie, but this has been popping up the last 2 days for me. Ash brought it up when he was here last. So
Not when I was here as well.
No, yeah, you would have been here. And we only touched on it briefly because I was like, I don't fucking know that movie. And I still don't know it, to be honest. I don't know any fucking facts behind it or anything like that. So it's called The Sound of Freedom.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't on... was it on the podcast or was it in a text?
Oh, it might have been on a text then. I thought it was on the podcast.
I think it was in the text.
I've spoken to Ash at some point about this movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't know fuck all about it.
The island movie, right?
The what?
Is it not about the island?
Like child shit? Yeah. So have you seen all the shit going around about like movie cinemas and like there's this big conspiracy.
I can't.
Because nobody of the higher ups wants anyone to see this movie. So all over the world at the moment, and it's like just started happening in Australia and New Zealand, there's been fire evacuations during this movie. They're not turning you know how cinemas go dark and shit. They're not turning lights off. They're saying cinemas are sold out, and then people are in a cinema and they're like,
let's just go over to the other where it's playing.
Well, no, she's like, I bought tickets online, and then my friend went to buy them and it said it's sold out, and she's videoing the cinema and it's empty, and then the movie's playing. But I got like a couple of like TikToks and shit that I saw today.
Is this in Australia?
Yeah.
So the movie's already started and they're not turning the lights off. It's for, if you know, Sound of Freedom. Movie started.
The fuck? So now I got this other one as well, but it's like
Free movie now, guys.
yeah.
Pause though.
Yeah.
Right, they say fire evacuation. They're not going to just fire evacuate your thing. They have to do all of them.
Well, yeah, I guess they probably would.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Then what? Oh, it's a conspiracy for friggin' Dora the Explorer.
There could
grown
be.
up.
But part of me, like, I saw all this and I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. And I bought into the conspiracy. And then the other part of my brain kicked in and I'm like, is this some sort of publicity stunt? Because now I want to go and see this movie to see if something happens.
That's true too.
And I don't know obviously I don't know which way is right. But
it'd be a big thing to pull for, like, have all these paid actors.
That's what I mean.
Especially all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world, just weird shit like that happening. Like, you could scroll on TikTok for hours of, like, people have videoing themselves in the cinema doing it. So, like, weird, eh?
I wish I knew someone that worked at a cinema.
Yeah, me too. I want to, like, go and watch it tomorrow.
Is it playing happens. Here now?
Well, that first one I showed you was in Sydney.
5 days ago.
So I don't know. That one there's in New Zealand.
I do want to watch it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Is it a publicity
stunt?
I do. Because now
I
all I want to
do,
all I want to do is fucking go and watch this movie.
But you don't want to watch the movie. You want something to happen.
Basically, yeah.
What if you go into the movie and nothing happens?
Then I'll be like, I want my money back.
Make something happen. Turn the lights on.
Where's my fire evacuation?
How about I'll go with you, and if nothing happens, I'll hold my phone torch up in your face.
Yeah, let's do that. Have you ever been at the movies with a fire evacuation? Oh,
have you?
Yeah, Nikita.
Is this a common thing?
No, so I forget what movie we were watching. Nikita and I went to the movies maybe, I don't know, 6 years ago or something. And halfway through, they're just like, everyone get out, there's a fire. And I was like, what the fuck? And
Wait, was it a drill or a fire?
No, apparently there was a real fire. Okay. And it was just like, it was chaos, eh? Because like, obviously nobody does a fire drill in a movie cinema.
I get why you want to get out. You're surrounded by freaking curtains and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously we had the chaos of our one cinema trying to get down the narrow corridor. But then you get to the end and all the cinemas are then fucking, everyone's like pushing each other.
Dumb way to do
100%
a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember any
13-year-old kids. Everyone get out.
Yeah.
Run for your lives.
I don't remember any of the staff really being like, oh, everyone calm down, like one at a time sort of thing. It was just like on the loudspeaker, fucking, there's a fire. Everyone, please find your nearest exit.
Oh, right. So it was a calm announcement.
I guess, but I mean, you hear there's a fire in the cinema.
Yeah,
Everyone
I
fucking
know,
run.
At least be fucking rational, people.
I guess, but fucking...
What, did you run?
Nah, I somewhat thought it was cool, I think. I don't think I liked the movie. And I think we got refunded as well.
Okay. That's a bit extreme to go if you didn't like the movie to fucking set a fire.
Yeah. Fucking hell. But, yeah, I don't know what to...
Okay, I want to watch this. I wanted to watch it before. I really want to watch it now.
So you know about it, do you?
Yeah.
So what's it exactly?
I only know it's about, like, child trafficking.
Yeah, okay.
And, like,
yeah.
people
That's
said-
all I know
people
as well.
said to watch it, yeah. And said that it's good.
Ash would give us a 4-hour fucking breakdown of...
He's watched it 17 times.
Ash, go to the movies tomorrow and watch it. I would love for
Has he
something...
seen it? Or did he just talk about it?
I think he just spoke about it. I would love for something conspiratorial to happen to Ash while he's watching this movie. Watch out, Lego.
He's stand aside, Barbie.
I was talking about his comment he sent us. Where he's trying to take down a corporation. Oh, Ash, you crazy.
He's so funny.
I'm gonna give one of your sons this Barbie. It's gonna make
It's
me
a
so
Ken,
angry.
so it's okay.
It is, yeah.
Trans Ken.
It's actually pretty sick. Were you ever into like action figures and shit?
I had an Action Man.
Action Man. See, I don't remember ever having an Action Man.
Yeah.
I had a friend, and I remember always
Action
going to his
Man,
house.
the greatest hero
Yeah.
of them all.
I remember playing with his Action Man, but I don't remember having one myself.
And did we ever have anything else? For sure we did. I just can't remember.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember having heaps of cool toys, but then it must just be a thing growing up, I reckon, because I had heaps of cool shit, but whenever you went to a mate's place, they always had better toys. And I think it's just because you don't have it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And probably because all my tech decks were from the cheap shop.
How come every time I try and kickflip it breaks?
Yeah.
A piece comes off the end.
Oh, fuck. I had action cam.
We had a barbecue today with some, like a family that the kids are friends with, which is fine and whatever. And it was down at Paradise Point. And like it's at the bit where there's like that little beach.
Yeah, yeah.
And the kids had never seen washed up jellyfish before.
Oh, really? Did they touch it?
We were like, they like went in the water and they were playing for a while. And then they went for a bike ride and then had barbecue. And then they went back down to the water. So they'd already been wet and they'd got changed into their dry clothes. We had no more clothes, like, don't go in the water again. Somehow they walked their way back down to the beach. And they're like, did that thing where it's like, just poke it with a stick. And so they were poking this jellyfish with a stick. And then some other random kids were like, shish kebabbing these fucking jellyfish on a stick. She had walking around with 6. I think they're all dead already.
Yeah, I think they are dead ones.
Shish kebabbing this, walking around with 6 jellyfish, and then Kenzie and her friend, they were like, "No, we got to save the jellyfish. We'll flick them back into the water so she can't shish kebab them." We're like, "They're already dead. You got to save them anyway." Flick them back in the water,
just stinging all the other kids in there.
After a while, they were like, got bored of saving the jellyfish, so they started to like collect the jellyfish and make a pile of jellyfish.
Really?
And then so we have Kenzie's like 7-ish, and then Evie's like 5, and then their friends, they're in the same grade, so the same part, an older sibling and a younger sibling. And then so Kenzie and her friend that were the same age were like making a pile of jellyfish.
Yeah.
And then Evie and her friend who were the younger ones went up, picked them up
with their hands. Holy fuck.
And I wasn't there. I think of packing up the car because we were getting ready to leave. And the kids were just playing. And then we came back, and then Tara was like, I was like watching, and they were like, playing with these jellyfish. I'm like, put it down. What are you doing? Totally. They don't listen. I told them not to pick it up.
Yeah.
And then anyway, after they'd finished, I got him to put them down and get him dry again. I like looked at Evie's hands, like all red.
Really?
And she's like, I was like, is it itchy or sore? She's like, nah.
Crazy.
You're lucky.
Yeah, 100%. Have you ever been stung?
No.
Haven't you?
What did we learn today? It says, don't pick up jellyfish. I'm like, yeah, good.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I feel like I got stung at some point, but I don't really remember it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember stinging. That's it.
Have I ever been? No, I don't think I have.
I think it wrapped around my leg. Oh. And then, yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
No one pissed on me.
I read somewhere that that's actually not good.
I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and I think it makes sense, because the water is not salt water, and so it'll just make it release whatever more toxin there is there.
I'd still piss on you if you got bit. Even if
Thanks.
you didn't want it.
Thanks. Even if you did. Thanks.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
All right, well, let's wrap this shit up, I reckon.
Let's leave it on you piss on me.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.